Grenada, it's 27 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. This is where we say good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's Monday, the 14th day of April. Of course, 2025, that's the year. And the name is a given, Gordon Innocent Joseph. So glad to be with you once again. Hope you had a great weekend and that you're up and ready to face the challenges of this brand new work week. Those of you who have the luxury of rest, you know, there are guys that work 24/7. Well, maybe not necessarily 24, but they work every day of the week. The security officers, yeah, the police, those in the medical fraternity, good morning. Nurse John, Nurse Maxween, good morning to you all. The folks at the ICU department, good morning. Cello, good morning to you. Nurse Pierre, Nurse Pascal, morning. Sislin, good morning. Sisley Blackman. Yulin Alexander is with us as always. Monica Meros Williams is with us. Who else is here? Good morning. I want to start off with this morning, my good friend. I think it's imperative that we start it with some good words. Before we get into the actual word of the day, let's get into some inspirational words. All right, let's see what he sent for us today. All right, Monday blessings. Then you will call upon me and pray to me, and I will listen to you. That's Jeremiah 29, verse 12. May the Lord our God bless you with health, and may the work of your hands prosper in Jesus Christ's wonderful name. Good morning. Have an abundantly blessed day and a new week. All right. He also says, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, because I am God. That's what the scripture says. 24 minutes on to Sylvina Charles is with us. Monica is already there. All right. Mildred and Shem is with us as always. Joanne Brathwaite Batson says, good morning, Mr. Joseph, listeners and viewers. God's continued grace, peace, and blessing to everyone on the live feed. Happy Monday. Catherine Phillip is with us. Spice Queen, good morning, my Spice girl. Hope you're doing fine, having your juice as always. Let's see what's that new word for the day. But before I do that, I want to make somebody dance. Let's dance. 24 on to 7.
Holy Spirit, take my soul. Spirit, fill my soul.
And that word for the day today, that word is ravenous. Ravenous. R-A-V-E-N-O-U-S. Ravenous. Extremely hungry. Extremely hungry. And it is spelled again, R-A-V-E-N-O-U-S. Ravenous. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. After the hike, they were ravenous and devoured their meals. They were very hungry, extremely hungry. Well, there are some folks who, haven't done any exhaustive exercise or, tedious work, but they're just always hungry, man. Can you identify someone like that that's always hungry?
Just like your prophets in the days of old.
Yeah, they say empty bags don't stand and full bags don't bend. Nice. Good morning, Peck. Boyo in Beaton. Good morning, Beaton. Good morning. Gladys Tanti Paul, good morning. Shirin, good morning. Azaria. Good morning, Naki. And all of a sudden, I'm forgetting Naki's daughter name, you know. Azaria and Natanaya. But nonetheless, good morning. Good morning, Beaton. Good morning to the folks on the rock. Good morning, Debbie. Yeah, we're heading into Nadisha's favorite part, the motivational tip of the day. Good morning. Rico Andrew, good morning. Mary E. Banks. Arnold Grant. Petlin, good morning to you also, the folks inside of Munich and surrounding areas. The folks inside of Cafe. Miss G and the family. The motivational tip of the day is up next. Keep a daily journal. Yeah, it's important to do that. Write down your thoughts and reflections. Write down your thoughts and reflections can clear your mind and keep you motivated. Writing down your thoughts and reflections can keep your mind, can clear your mind and keep you motivated. What's wrong with me this morning? Keep a daily journal because writing down your thoughts and reflections, they can clear your mind and keep you motivated and focused. Yeah. Nice. Caraco and Pretty Martinique, good morning to you. Hope all is well on the Sister Isles. Good morning, Leftist Kim the King. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Gailey. And all the folks up in Bel Air. Jude and those guys. And while at Jude, good morning, Joe, my pops. How you doing, Miss Annie and the entire household? I hope everybody is fine. Oswald Pele Dabo, good morning. Let's see what's buzzing this morning. What's buzzing? All right. Another 2 fishermen from St. Andrew rescued at sea over the weekend. What's wrong with these guys? Dark night, talk to them. Give them the requisite equipment so that they can go out safely and return safely, all right? Morning, Dark Night, and all the wonderful folks inside of Subies and Marquee and surrounding areas. Please, please, please. My God is. Self-preservation is key, all right? My God is. In the region Caribbean community, that's CARICOM, is sounding the alarm over what it calls a dangerous and unacceptable development in Haiti. I don't know, man. Was watching a documentary last night with Barbecue. The ex-police officer that is leading, one of the leading gang leaders. God help Haiti. Internationally, Ukraine's allies condemn Russia over deadly missile attack on Palm Sunday. A ballistic missile was launched, killing quite a large number of people, man. Come on. I thought someone said that when they got into office, the war would be over in a day. In sports, a major boost is coming for tennis in Carriacou as plans for a new court received international praise. Those are the buzzing stories. Romel C. Batiste says, good morning, everyone. Monica Willie, good morning from Canada. Wow. While in Canada, say good morning to Doc and Candy and Josiah in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Toronto, good morning. Want to say good morning to Cecil Flying Turkey Belfon in the U.S. I think he's in Washington, D.C. Margaret and Gibbs, good morning, Margaret. How are you doing? All is well. How is Moncton doing today? Just like your prophets in Paraclete, Sab, Bylands, good morning, Maribo. Tivoli, good morning, Ahoma. Fali, Zobaida, Duncan, good morning. Matthew Pegleg, good morning to you and the family. Yeah, hope all you're doing fine. Good morning to Monripo. Good morning. How you doing, Papi? Hope all is well. I'm longing to eat a V8. You remember that, man? Yeah, V8. You know, we have V6 engines. He has a food he cooks. He calls it the V8. Morning, bro. How you doing? Hope all is fine. Belial, good morning, family, how did do?
My God is
Tibaid, good morning. Corinth,
as I journey to this.
Lassa Jess. D. Lewis says good morning from sunny Palm Beach in Florida. Well, while in Florida, I want to say good morning to Kathy and Adams, Kenneth, Zuri, and Solange. Daddy Godwin, good morning also. The folks in Berbice, Guyana, good morning. Essequibo. A whole lot of things going on in Guyana, boy, politically and otherwise. The world is in a chaotic state. What are we doing about it? We got to pray some more, yeah? Lakalum, good morning. Wester Hall. Congratulations to the 5 persons who got baptized yesterday at Boli Beach, man. Whoa, that was an awesome event. Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family, good morning as always. Folks, it's time for us to head into the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. It comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Monday, the 14th day of April, 2025. Coming up in the news, another 2 fishermen from St. Andrew rescued at sea over the weekend. In the region, the CARICOM is sounding the alarm over what it calls a dangerous and unacceptable development in Haiti. Internationally, Ukraine's allies condemn Russia over a deadly missile attack. And in sports, a major boost is coming for tennis in Carriacou as plans for a new court received international praise. We've got the details to these and so much more after these messages.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products, including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain unblocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to old plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the supply store, we do everything plumbing.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th. So don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Two young fishermen from Grenville in St. Andrew have been rescued after being reported missing at sea on Sunday. The men, believed to be in their early 20s, were the focus of a social media appeal around 10 a.m. on Sunday, with photos widely circulated as family and friends asked for help and prayers. Hours later, relief swept through the community as emotional videos emerged online showing the men being embraced by loved ones after their safe return. This marks the fourth such incident involving fishermen from the start of 2025, raising serious concerns about the conditions of fishing boats and equipment used in the parish of St. Andrew. The government of Grenada have officially obtained a copy of the country's seismic data set gathered during the 2018 survey of the Grenada Maritime Basin by international firm GOX MCG LLC. The seismic data are critical to Grenada's exploration of potential hydrocarbon resources was handed over during a transmittal ceremony at the ministerial complex. The ceremony followed months of negotiations between GOX MCG and Grenada's Hydrocarbon Technical Working Group. The delegation from GOX MCG was led by company's president, Mr. Robert Sawley, who presented the data set to Mr. V. Nazim Burke, the chairman of the Technical Working Group. Chairman Burke described the gesture as a demonstration of good faith on the company's part and expressed gratitude on behalf of the government and people of Grenada. Back in 2018, GOX MCG conducted the survey and submitted a draft seismic data transfer and revenue sharing agreement to the then government of Grenada. The agreement proposed that Grenada would receive a copy of the data and a share of the revenue from sub-licensing it to international oil companies. However, no formal agreement was concluded at that time. The matter resurfaced in September 2023 when Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell became aware of the draft agreement after the company reported an incident involving a fraudulent individual posing as a government representative attempting to negotiate terms. Now the data is in hand. Both parties are finalizing the agreement to ensure Grenada can benefit from future licensing and revenue opportunities. Now that concludes the first segment of the news. Stay with us. The regional developments along with international news, they are straight ahead. In the region, CARICOM heads of government say they are deeply concerned about the reports that a coalition of criminal gangs in Haiti is threatening to overthrow the current transitional government. In a statement issued on Sunday evening, CARICOM strongly condemned any attempt to force a change in Haiti's governance through violence. The regional body says the transitional arrangements were established by Haitian stakeholders to restore constitutional order and pave the way for elections by February 7, 2026. CARICOM warns that any further escalation of violence will only worsen the country's humanitarian crisis. According to the International Organization on Migration, more than 1 million Haitians are now internally displaced, with nearly 60,000 more forced from their homes in the past month alone. In response to the growing threat, CARICOM says it has been in urgent talks with Haitian officials and international partners to strengthen security support on the ground. The community has praised the ongoing efforts of Haiti's security forces and the multinational security support mission led by Kenya, aimed at restoring order and protecting citizens. CARICOM is now calling on the international community, including the United Nations and the Organization of American States, to step up and support the Haitian authorities in addressing the crisis. Still in the region, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley is sounding the alarm over rising insurance costs, warning that the skyrocketing premiums pose a serious threat to climate resilience and survival of key industries, especially tourism. Speaking at the 5th board meeting of the Fund for Responding to Loss and Damage, Prime Minister Mottley said the burden of high insurance rates is placing intense financial pressure on small hotel owners. Mottley pointed out that businesses like the intimate hotels of Barbados are struggling to refurbish or expand due to the crushing cost of insurance. To address this, the Barbadian government has introduced a Resilience and Regeneration Fund, replacing the previous Catastrophe Fund. The new initiative was announced in the 2025 budget and aims to support economic stability and recovery following natural disasters. Mottley stressed that if countries or sectors become uninsurable, they also become uninvestable, a scenario she described as a nightmare. She noted that Barbados has had to strategically plan national events around the risk of disasters because the country simply cannot afford cancellations. The Prime Minister praised the Loss and Damage Fund created after COP27 for offering vital financial support to developing countries most vulnerable to climate shocks. She called for more collaboration and out-of-the-box thinking to ensure small island nations are not left behind in the global climate conversation. Looking further afield, at least 34 people, including 2 children, are dead and over 100 others injured following a Russian missile strike on the Ukrainian city of Sumy on Sunday. Ukrainian authorities say 2 ballistic missiles hit the center of the northeastern city near the Russian border early in the morning. Disturbing images showed bodies covered in silver sheets and rescuers combing through the rubble. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, one of the deadliest in recent months, noting it occurred on Palm Sunday, calling it an act of bastards. International leaders also reacted strongly. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio expressed condolences and labeled the strike as horrifying. Retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg described it as a crossing all lines of decency. The missiles, identified as Iskander-M ballistic weapons, left 117 injured, 15 of them children. 8 victims remain in critical condition. The attack comes just days after a U.S. envoy visited Russia to push for renewed peace talks. And finally, a 38-year-old man has been arrested in connection with a suspected arson attack at the official residence of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Cody Balmer is facing multiple charges, including attempted murder, terrorism, aggravated arson, and aggravated assault. Authorities say the fire broke out late Saturday night at the governor's mansion in Harrisburg. Governor Shapiro, a Democrat often mentioned as a future presidential contender, was inside with his family at the time. They were safely evacuated, but the home sustained significant damage. At a press conference on Sunday, Shapiro described the terrifying moment when officials pounded on his door to wake the family as the flames spread. Just hours before the fire, the Shapiros had celebrated the first night of the Passover at home. The governor said they were in the state dining room retelling the story of the holiday, an ironic detail, he noted, given the events that followed. Police say Balmer was found with a homemade incendiary device and may have climbed a fence to cross the property. He was arrested nearby. The motive remains unclear and the investigations are ongoing. A $10,000 reward had been offered for information, but it's unknown if a tip led to the arrest. The Pennsylvania governor's residence is a 29,000 square foot Georgian-style home that has housed 8 governors since it was built in 1968. Governor Shapiro, who took office in 2023, lives there with his wife Lori and their 4 children. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights followed by the weather are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. The government of Grenada and the Ministry of Carriacou and Martinique Affairs are being applauded for moving forward with plans to build a tennis court on Carriacou. John Goode, a development officer with the International Tennis Federation, says the new facility will not only develop top-tier tennis players, but will also improve the overall health and well-being of young athletes. Goode, who had previously visited the island, recalled seeing tennis played on a basketball court and believes the construction of a dedicated tennis court is a major step in the right direction. He also commended the commitment of local players and coaches who continue to represent Carriacou at tournaments locally, regionally, and internationally. Among those recently flying the flag were Annabelle Stanislaus and Destine Antoine, who competed in the Barbados Powerade International Tennis Tournament. Their trip was made possible through the support of the Ministry of Carriacou and Martinique Affairs and local government. Finally, in sports, Liverpool are just 6 points away from clinching the Premier League title after a thrilling 2-1 victory over West Ham at Anfield on Sunday. Luis Diaz gave the Reds an early lead, but a late own goal by Andy Robertson brought West Ham level. Just when it seems like more points would slip away, Captain Virgil van Dijk rose to the occasion, heading home a dramatic winner in the final minutes. Arne Slot's men now sit 13 points clear of second-place Arsenal, with only 6 games remaining, putting them on the brink of a record-equaling 20th English title. Meanwhile, Tottenham's domestic woes deepened under manager Ange Postecoglou. Spurs fell 4-2 to Wolves, who all but secured Premier League survival with the win. Liverpool could officially be crowned champions on April 20th if Arsenal lose to Ipswich and the Reds beat Leicester. That's the sports at this time. We'll have more sports for you during a luncheon edition. Stay with us. The weather forecast is up next, followed by a recap of the headlines.
Go.
And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster Andre Charles at the Met Office of the MBIA. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you, my listeners of GBN. And here's weather for today, Monday the 14th April 2025. Currently, the weather is fair. Winds are from the east-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 15.5 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature, 27.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, 77%. Yesterday's maximum temperature, 29.6 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum, 26.3 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, only a trace of rainfall was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remains at 52.3 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, that for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair and slightly hazy conditions with some isolated showers during the night. Maximum temperature, 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sea slight to moderate with waves up to 5 feet in open waters. Tides below at 12 noon, high at 5:15 p.m. Sunset today at 6:19, rises tomorrow at 5:55. Just a repeat of the forecast, that for today and tonight. Generally fair and slightly hazy with some isolated showers during the night. Maximum temperature, 30.5 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting from the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andre. Have yourself a wonderful day now.
Thanks, and same to you.
Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
Shop with confidence at Courts. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Six minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Another 2 fishermen from St. Andrew rescued at sea over the weekend. The courier in the region, Caribbean Communities, is sounding the alarm over what it calls a dangerous and unacceptable development in Haiti. Internationally, Ukraine's allies condemn Russia over deadly missile attack. And in sports, a major boost is coming for tennisist Karikou as plans for a new court receive international praise. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Monday, April 14th, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain-on-blocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to old plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing.
Boy, yo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. It's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Agritech Limited Grenada is your one-stop shop for all your farming needs. We provide seeds and seedlings, pesticides, fertilizers, irrigation and water management systems, veterinary products, and a wide range of agricultural products and implements. Our staff is knowledgeable and ready to serve you. Call us on 435-9677 or 440-4460 or visit us in Happy Hill, St. George. We are open Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Agritech Limited Grenada. Come grow with us.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 12 minutes not but after 7. Yeah, I was chatting with Josephine there and it kind of had my head going in a particular direction that the hands of the clock and all moved.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, Josephine.
Good morning. How you do?
I am fine. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
There's something exuberant looking on your face this morning. What is that all about?
I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing.
Yeah, well, okay. You look beautiful. That's all I'm trying to say.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes, good, yes, good. All right, folks, on Monday, it's a Risers Day with us. Mondays and Wednesdays. On Monday, we talk, and then on Wednesdays, we have Money Wise. And I must confess, last Wednesday, My good friend was here. Herschel was with me.
Really?
Yeah, Herschel was with me Wednesday, man. And we had a wonderful...
You all had a good time.
Of course, of course. He's so deep.
Yes.
Yeah, he's, you know...
Well, he's the head of the business portfolio, loans business portfolio, so...
Yeah, and not only that, he has a level of humility that...
He does.
Yeah, he's so humble, but he's, you know... Morning, Hush. All right? Yeah, we looked at business loans and, you know, the need for business plans and so forth. And this morning we want to talk about, you know, opening business accounts. Well, yes, Ariza has business accounts. But before we get into that, I want to get a little brief as to how is the loyalty program going.
The loyalty program is going well because we have interest from other persons. And sometimes, well, when you look at it, you have Ariza members who are they have a business, whether it's small, medium, and they have not considered opening a business account with us. You encounter them all the time. So you would be onboarding someone and their source of funds will tell you, well,
it's for my business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
I have a boss.
Yeah.
Or I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
But where's your business account? Do you have a business account with us?
No.
And so we want to reach out to our members who have businesses. It may not even be that that's your full-time employment because we do what we call something on the side.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's an
like
income earner. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an income earner. Yeah. You know, it's an income stream. It's a business. And so we'd like to reach out to you to say, join the club. Because if you're not an Ariza member yet, before I go on, because some people also think that they can open a business account. It's not about that because remember, credit unionism is about membership. So it's not about having an account. It's about becoming a member.
Joining the family.
Yes. You're a member of the family and you're allowed to have a business account. And then you do get interest on your savings. Now, you have your good friend, Herschel. You have that who manages the loans portfolio. But you also have Miss Marquez, who is big into the investment side of things. And what we try to do is tailor everything to suit the needs of these members. We have Miss Jilks as well. So you have people who can advise you on ways to invest, ways to secure your investment, and just help you to move the business along. So never feel that your business is too small. So what if you have a 8 to 4 and in the evenings you make snow ice and you sell them to the schools? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's not too small. There's nothing like too small a beginning. And so why shouldn't you have a business account and have access to the information that we will provide? I remember last year, the Credit Union League hosted this investment seminar, workshop. And it was all about divesting. So having bonds and treasury bills and and we had one of the persons that Ariza sent was one of our quote unquote ambassadors. But that kind of information is a wealth of information available to you. You never know when you can be called upon to be exposed to something like that. And if you're already a member and you have a business account, you're struggling, don't struggle alone.
Yeah.
Don't.
Share it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't stay there and take this all on by yourself, not having solutions, because you don't have all the solutions. And you would find that a lot of people, I remember one time a farmer, I was doing onboarding, and someone who was doing farming came to me. And when I asked for the source of funds, I assisted him to go to, at the time, the supermarkets where he sold his produce to,
get some receipts,
so that he can get the receipts to show. And his passion for farming just amazed me. His eyes just lit up when he spoke about his farm, and he had short crops. I even bought some because after I asked him to bring some for me, and so that I can purchase from him. And some people just love what they do. You love the land, so you love to plant and reap and take care of these crops like your babies, but you're not a business person.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even know how much you invested, if you're getting the returns on your investment, how you should do your little balance sheet in your own way, like Mr. Diali would have said. Get your exercise book.
Yeah.
And you
mark down what I spend and what I collect.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's it, basically.
Yeah.
But, of course, I'm not the voice of that section. But you do have very capable people who will advise you on ways to go. And of course, you have access to business loans.
And just to butt in here, that was a very salient point that Mr. Whiteman brought across on Wednesday, in that you're coming to secure a business loan, you come with a business plan, and when the financial technicians look at what you're proposing, they might tell you, not now, which is not no.
Yes.
Not now.
Delay is not denied.
Yes.
Yes. So we work with you so that down the road.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they might advise you, because the knowledge of the experts within Horizon know the markets and everything like that. So you come with that plan, and because of the expertise, they might be able to tell you, we suggest that you approach it that way.
Yes.
Maybe you go smaller, or maybe you want to start too small. Maybe you need to start bigger because the niche in the market is great at this time.
Mm-hmm. The demand is high, so you can. But what I also want to say is, people, you have to save, register your business first and foremost. So we're talking. I know Herschel would have done a whole lot on the loan portfolio. And given a lot of advice on why, as you said, your loan may be delayed.
Yeah.
But first of all, to have an account, so you're a member, you have to register a business.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't just bring the bits of paper. The bits of paper will be the evidence that you do. You are collecting.
Yes.
Yes. But you register your business,
and it's not difficult, right? It's not difficult.
No,
you can if you personally can go and register, but if not, you could do it through GIDC.
And you register.
Yeah.
And what we do when you come in, you are coming with your business certificate. Some people come with the business certificate only. No, you have to have the letters of association, because those documents associate you with the business.
Yeah.
So the certificate says the name of the business, but who does the business belong to? So the letters of association would tell us that this business belongs to you. Evidence that that business is a viable one. And it may not be that at the time you're earning a whole lot, but let us see your receipts.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you may just have receipts. In the case of the bus drivers, sometimes they don't. I remember speaking to one of them who just had a phobia when it came to saving his money like that.
Yeah.
He wanted to have access to all that money, but why? And one of them particularly, I remember in Grand Dance, we were doing a pop-up shop, and he said to me, "Miss, I go save money if I make a lot of money, you know. But that just doesn't save." And but you can't, you shouldn't do that. So I directed him to the Grand Dance branch as soon as we opened. And I think he's quite happy that he made that decision. So what you do is you have proof that you are the owner of the bus. And of course we have to know that it's licensed and insured and that kind of thing. That's all. So your name, obviously, will be in Inland Revenue as the owner of the bus, and you bring those documents to us, and we can take it from there. Now, you still need, because what if we need to update your IDs and so on? And if you
proof
have...
of address and everything.
Yes. So if you have another job, you walk with that payslip and so as well. It is not necessary because we may have your information on file, but I am constantly preaching, update your information. Maybe the rep dealing with you, when they look at the files, would notice that we haven't seen you for over 3 years.
Yeah.
And so we do have to update your IDs.
You might have moved.
You may have moved.
You might have moved from Mount Horn to Lansapine.
You may have moved.
Yeah.
And that happens quite frequently, that we see addresses have changed and things like that. That's another subject altogether, because we constantly, update your information. We need to know who you are, where you live, we must have a good, an updated profile on you. So to say, do not walk with just your certificate.
Okay.
Walk with your certificate and your articles of association, your letters of association, because your certificate alone is not enough. And when you come in, my suggestion is that you make contact with the persons in Mr. Whiteman's department at the same time. It may not be that you want a loan, but you want advice.
Yeah. Let them know that I'm knocking on the door now.
Let them know. Yeah. You may need advice. We have Ms. Marquez, who heads that department. We also have Mr. Whiteman, and the two combined would be sure to put you in the driver's seat.
Okay.
So it's a holistic approach to your business, further developing your business and letting your business work for you in the best possible way. So to our Riser members, you have a business. I don't care if it's Kuma you're selling, 2 sweeties.
It's a business.
It's a business.
You are buying
you earn
and
an
selling.
income.
Yes.
And hey, there is dignity in labor.
Yes.
Bring your articles of association, your business certificate. Come to us and register your business first. Bring in your stuff. The opening of a business account takes a little longer. So what we do is we copy all the documents, we prep the thing, and when you come back, 15 minutes you sit with us, and that's it. And when you do, make an appointment to see Mr. Whiteman.
Okay.
To be a member, make contact with his department.
Be under his wings.
So, yes, you need the guidance. We do
Yeah.
a lot, as I said, and it's a serious thing. A lot of people are passionate about what you cook well. So you just make your little tots and you do, and beautiful, lovely food. Every day you turn out how many containers of food and you bring them along in a basket. You have orders and we buy it. We buy the food. But how are you doing?
Yeah.
How is your business doing? And can you do better? You may need to move out of your kitchen at some point.
As you say that, there's something that always sticks with me. I remember in McDonald College, my principal of business teacher, Mr. Charles, when we're doing that, he always said, you are separate from your business.
Yes.
Your business has a life for itself.
Of its own.
All right? So treat it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So important.
It's important.
You know, I cannot get over the amazement of that comprehensive care that you get when you come to Ariza.
But it's supposed to be. We're about, as I said,
that's a key word, that's supposed.
People helping people.
Yeah.
Why would you sit there with something that you may be able to just be be self-employed fully at some point? You're juggling 2 now, but maybe you don't have to. You may employ others.
Yeah,
you may get to the point where you employ others.
I mean, my good friend Sauersuppant once said to me, small business is big business in Grenada.
Small business is big business.
Yeah.
You're looking at the nuts man doing his thing. These people account for quite a percentage of our GDP.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember that when you were talking about when you come for a business loan and you might be told, well, maybe start a little smaller or maybe go a little bigger. And that thought crossed my mind. What we now have as Andal and Associates. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when he started in Grenville with the box shop?
Oh, yes.
The little place where all the stuff was just placed. And look at it today. Mm-hmm. It is one of our leading outlets.
Yes.
So starting is the important thing.
That's the point.
Start.
And you've already started.
Yeah.
And to those who haven't started, you have a business idea. You're good at something. You're good with your hands. You're good with ideas. Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let us help you to move it forward.
All right. So, folks, you heard that, all right? You're a member of Ariza, or if you're not a member yet, you need to become a member.
Yes.
and you're into something that is generating income, that is a business. That is what we call
That's
a
what
business.
we call a business.
Yeah, that's what we call a business. Okay, you're generating income. So come sit down with one of the reps.
Yes.
And they will advise you on how to go about and where to go about it, register your business, and start a business account. And
Yes.
there's a multiplicity of benefits that can be derived from that. You have access to a whole lot of services.
And to the advice, you're going to need that. Yes.
As always, thank you.
Well, thank you. But before I leave,
Okay.
I
wasn't
think
racing
last
you.
week. No, before last week, I think I said I wished all the athletes well.
I was hoping you weren't going to bring up.
I am going there.
You make my eyes get blue.
So allow me to congratulate the all of the athletes, every last one of them.
They did well.
Because their efforts gave us a really wonderful, produced a wonderful intercall. So congratulations. Of course, special congratulations to GBSS and St. David's Catholic.
Have you seen
Winners
Mr.
of the
James?
boys and the girls. I saw Mr. James.
There's a video
I
circulating.
saw and spoke to Mr. James.
Mr. James.
Yeah, that 4x1.
Your behavior is rather...
He's passionate. Let's
Passionate.
put it that way. That's all it is.
That's what I was going to
He's
say.
passionate about his school and his boys. That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
And, intercall is over. Yes, there was the banter and so on. And now we have a team of athletes
Going to
on the way to
character.
character.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to say, on behalf of Arise, I am really saying the very best to you, because we're really, really thrilled that we were able to be part of them moving to character through the Arise National Champs. Because that's how some of them were able to qualify. So we're looking at our own, because as I said, when they leave secondary school, it's no longer that, but they're still able to because of what we do.
They would have
and
shown
hats
up.
off to, everyone who made it possible. So to the athletes, go do your best. It's this week.
I am personally waiting with bated breath for years to come. With some of the performances that I saw at Intercall, I'm seeing future Olympians again.
Oh, yes.
I'm just waiting for that point when they really burst at the seams.
Yes. I think we all
Grenada's got it,
Yeah, we have talent.
Grenada's got it.
We have talent, for sure.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jojo.
Thank you, my dear. And you have a lovely week.
You have a lovelier one, okay?
Thank you.
You have a lovelier week.
Thank you.
Folks, that was it for the Ariser segment this morning. And if the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have Money Wise on Wednesday. We look forward to another engagement with Ariser Credit Union. Thank you, Josephine.
Thanks again.
Folks, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Southern Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
All right, it's 25 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Welcome back to the conversation this morning, and I'm hitting it out front. I want to talk this morning, and I want to talk about that this morning. I want to hear from you on this. We're having too many incidences of fishermen getting lost at sea. All right, this is becoming a concern for me, and it's hitting closer to home. All right. As I said in the news this morning, this is the fourth time for 2025. We're in the fourth month. What is the problem here? Should the ministry or the Department of Fisheries get involved by having sporadic, or maybe not sporadic, but continued inspection of the fishermen's equipment and their vessels going out? Now, you might argue that this is personal. If they don't want to take care of them themselves when they're going out, that is their business. But you realize when something goes amiss, the nation gets involved. I am not interested in blaming. I don't want anybody blaming anybody. But I think it has to be procedural, that the Fisheries Department ensure that the vessels, when going out, are properly equipped. The fishermen are properly trained in terms of navigation and stuff outside there, because when they go missing, it's a headache for the nation. I want to hear from you. What are your 2 pence on this? What can we do? That's what we're talking about this morning. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Welcome to welcome.
No, you're opening a can of worms.
I hope so.
I'm far away from it there, but it's still, back. Listen, the boats that, or the people we're being missing from boats arrival, the boat, everything is legit. It's just that the weather is bad. So poor decision leads up to whatever is the result of when the men go missing. Let me just put it that way. Simple as that. Now, we has Grenada invested in a patrol boat to go there to look for people. It's the same fishermen on the land we're going and look for their own fishermen. Coast Guard, we have no Coast Guard to say go and look for these guys and them.
Yeah, but even before it reaches to the point of the involvement of the Coast Guard.
I reiterate what I said. The boats are legit. It's poor decision if the weather is bad. Simple.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. 435-2041. It's 22 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's becoming a cause for concern. I think it's too frequent. Really, really too frequent. If I'm not mistaken, I think we still have some fishermen that have not been found as yet. You know, innocent want to hear that 2 pence, they go give you a whole $1. Yeah, give me a call. What are your suggestions? How do you think we tackle this situation? We're into the 4th month, and already we had 4 incidents of fishermen being lost at sea. Could it be a case of inappropriate equipment or lack thereof? Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Innocent. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. Welcome to the program.
Okay. I met a young guy recently who went missing at sea. Okay. And what he told me is not necessarily they don't have the right equipment, but he said the tide and so was really bad. And the wind, so what happened is that a lot of water came into the boat and threw them over. So many times it's not really the boat is not good or if, they're not taking the right measures. But many times when they go outside, if the tide is very bad, because normally when you hear the weatherman speak, he would advise that boats stay in port, don't go out, don't venture out, and so on. So many times it's not necessarily that they don't have the right tools, they're not doing the right thing, but sometimes that weather outside there could be very challenging.
So that is where personalized training comes in. If they're trained properly into the art of fishing and navigation, they should look at the weather and of course be monitoring the weather stations and so forth and determine, hey, today is not a day to go out, or maybe we should approach this angle up that side instead of down south, or whatever.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, because oftentimes these things happen is that sometimes these guys figure that they could make it, they're very daring, but you don't play with the sea.
No.
That sea outside is very, very terrible. So we got to be mindful as to what we do, as you rightfully said. Listen to the weatherman every day. And once you know you want to go out and see, you organize yourself, you listen, and then you make your move.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. It's 19 minutes on to. Yeah, I personally think that a lot more energy and resources should be placed in the training of our fishermen. Not like they're not trained, because they've been doing it for eons of years and they've been bringing back fish for us. But good morning, caller. Welcome.
Well, good morning, sir. How are you going?
I'm alive and thankful. How about you?
Trying to be comfortable as you, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, one of the things that I look at is the fishermen themselves. Fishermen know that they're going out on a precarious journey. A lot of these fellas are careless. The things that will save their life most of all. And 2 vital important things. Some of them does not have enough life jacket on their boats.
Okay.
That they themselves are careless about it. One, they should, when they are going for inspection of the fishing boat before they get the registration, some of them borrowing. I'm from St. Andrews, although I'm not living up there, I could tell you. Some of them borrowing the telecom system from some other boat to put on their boat just to go to pass and don't have their own.
So that in itself tells me that has to be an education thing, because you're not just doing that to pass the inspection, but you have to be looking at it from, hey, this is for my safety.
For your safety and your family safety and all kind of thing like that. So here's what. there may be time that it might be necessary that when all them boats come in and they're on the port or in the wharf or where they are in Grenville or St. David's or where they are, random check should be made by the authorities.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Keep these fellas and them in line. Because these fellas and them playing the fool with their lives and all that. Some of these fellas are good navigators. When I say good navigator, they learn to fish outside that they could. But you can't tell what's happening with the waves, and sometimes your lives could be saved if you had life jackets or if you have certain things there. You could say that you are in trouble. Some of them can't call back and say where their cell phone is out of line. A third thing that I think the fishermen need to do. And this one, people don't talk about it in a hush-hush. A lot of these fellas and them, they are fishermen. But some of them hitting around St. Vincent and all these places and they in a little thing more than fishing. They in a little thing of drugs and getting themselves in trouble. And many of us feeling sorry for these same fellas and them who going beyond fishing and getting themselves in trouble. And when they get killed outside, some people on the shores of these areas could tell you about some of those young fellas. These young fellas and them say they're doing fishing, and all what they're doing may not be fishing. So sometimes it's good to pull these fellas and them in lectures, as you were rightly saying, they need a little education on going out there and what they're doing. The nation is looking at them. One of the things that is good about the fishermen is that when one boat is missing, a lot of boats go and look for that particular one, and that is a good cooperative way in one another, seeing that there is a community that will help one another. But these fellas and them need more help in being careful of how to handle themselves up there and don't violate the principle of the law. When you're out there, people must know where you are and how to find you. You must have your thing intact. That is my contribution for it this morning.
And it has been a very great contribution. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, folks, it's 15 minutes on to 8 o'clock. I really want to hear from you on this. You know, not every morning we have to be talking the politics and who this and who that. This is an opportunity to make a very meaningful contribution. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good morning to you and your followers. First of all, on the positive side, although you did mention that there was a group that went up and didn't come back, I hope that you missed. We all missed this part when they came back.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, but so let's start on the positive side, that most of them at least have been able to come back safely. And that may be telling us something. It's probably they have good equipment, good, radios and other things like that. Probably also that they have some of the gears that they need. And as the previous caller mentioned, there is good cooperation, amongst the fisher folks. So they, when one is missing, the others, have their back and they look out for them. So that's the positive part of it. But on the other side, I would venture to say to you that you cannot legislate common sense and good judgment. You can't pass any law to make people use their common sense and their good judgment. Sadly. Now, we know that the guys take risks. And sometimes, folks turn up their noses to pay them for the fish. They take risks. It's a very risky thing. And sometimes when you sit back there and you realize so many days pass and you have not gone out, you feel like you have to take the risk. But life is worth more than meat. And we can only advise them, encourage them to be more careful, more careful about it.
Okay.
And see to it that if they need help, we can support them. If they need, as someone said, some of them don't have equipment, but they use other people's equipment to pass the inspection. I think the one thing the government can do is to find out more about the actual personnel needs. But as you discussed this morning with the lady from Arise, sometimes people do not save their resources properly. They don't manage. You understand what they collect?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As you know, in some parts of the country, people say fishermen, what they make today, they spend it tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they're all like that. I know many of them are not. But we may also have to encourage them to be more careful and to save and to invest in their own equipment, because when you go out there and something happens to you out there, the equipment that you borrowed to pass the inspection is not with you.
Yep.
So, but as I said before, you cannot legislate
common sense,
safety, and common sense.
Yeah, I like that phrase. Yes, I like this. Yes.
You know, so but we have to pray for them. We have to encourage them because they're doing a very good job.
Yeah, I think
it's a very risky job.
I think that I think I would, you know, I think it would make a whole lot of sense if the fisheries department be more integrally involved, and especially in the monitoring aspect. Like ever making sporadic visits to the vessels where they're berthed and so forth, you know, just to make sure, because it's when they go missing, it becomes a headache for the state.
But don't forget the fundamental thing I mentioned, but you cannot legislate.
Yeah. So right.
We have to just pray for them. We hope that they be a bit more careful, give them, you know, the education, the other things. But the positive thing is that they seem to be cooperating very well. They support each other, and in most cases, they seem to have the survival, what it takes for them to survive.
Yeah.
And that's a good starting point. But the judgment part and the decision making and the risk taking, it comes with the territory. But they may have to be more careful where that is concerned.
Thank you, caller.
You're most welcome.
Have a great one, man.
Thanks.
Right. Folks, it's 11 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Innocent. And how are you?
I am alive and very thankful. How about you?
Well, I'm not as the best, but I listen to the program.
And give us your 2 pence.
Well, let me give you the 2 pence I will give you. The rum drinkers in Grenada and the fishermen are the same. They don't care much about what they do.
Okay.
A man drinking rum and he drinking rum. He hungry, he go and drink rum. A fisherman, they tell him the sea bad, they still going. That is them.
Okay.
That is me. That's what it's all about.
So what do you think we could do about that?
Well, there's nothing we could do. When they lose their life, they lose their life.
Okay. All right.
People like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, caller. Yeah. Have a good one. Okay. Folks, it's 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take our final commercial break and come back with the wrap.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th, so don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
GBM presents the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, June 7th, Monrouge Plain Field from 11 a.m. Our partners, Maggie, the secret of great flavor, Grenada Distillers Limited, makers of Clark's Court, Grenada's #1 rum, Grenada Paper Products, makers of Cherish, Spring Soft, Harbour Bay, and Super Value Toilet Paper, and Royal, Quick and Easy, and Horizon Paper Towels, Budget Foods Inc., Classic Lighting, and Blue Bubbles PA Rental and Event Supplies. It's the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners. Let's go back to our platform. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hi, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to call to give the fishermen encouragement. I just want to keep telling them to keep rowing their boats. Keep doing what you're doing because there's a lot of hungry people on shore. Sometimes you might have rough waves, you know, you might have storms, but keep rowing your boats because there are lots of hungry people ashore.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. 6 minutes away from 8 o'clock. That is the time at this time. And let's go back to the telephone line and say, good morning, caller. Welcome. Caller, good morning. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Okay, how are you, sir?
I am alive and very thankful. How about you?
Good enough. But they say what must is must.
What must. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, brother. Listen, I know from years ago, when fishermen go out at sea, one of the things they look at is the moon.
The moon?
Because, you know, the sea and its tide could be affected by the size or the season of the moon at the time. So I think we sort of switch from that a bit, and that might be a little strategy that can use when going out, just as a measure, just as a check to ensure or get an idea, along with what the weatherman says, to give you a good idea as to what that weather could possibly be like, the tide out there.
Okay.
Just a thought.
All right. A great thought indeed.
All the best.
Have a good one, bro. Have a good one. It's 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock. And we go back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Innocent. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. How about you?
All right. What a gentleman said about the moon day, that is so true. Because in my grandfather's days, that is what they depend on. They look at the moon and they could tell you sometimes they're going to dive or they're going to fish. And they're not going only, they know when the tide will be changing, when it's going. They're looking and they know, they do this. But fishing is a very risky business. And some of the fishermen, they know about the tide and even like the squall. You could fishing out there and you're in a squall. And after that squall over, you end up way off your coast, way off. Sometimes because some of them you don't have a GPS. You may have a compass. They may not have a compass. They might have a GPS, but you're not walking properly.
But let me ask you this, caller. I'm glad you raised that. I did not want to raise this thing about the GPS. Don't you think, all right, that the fishermen should ensure that they invest in the latest, you know, in terms of technology to secure themselves when they are, I notice I'm stressing themselves when they are out there because it's life.
Yeah, that is true because I had owned 2 boats already. And the second one, it had a proper GPS in it. And you can see anything under the water ahead of you up to about 100 or 200 feet above you when you come in. You could see what is under the water. It tells you the depth of where you are. You could set it on a course. You could watch the course you're running. And still I have the compass besides the GPS, and it tells you everything. But the fishermen are risky. Look for Point Saline area there. If I go back up Point Saline, my boat could have do 40 knots. And sometimes you come in from Point Saline, and you throw in and you do, and you put it on doing 9 knots. It cannot cross Point Saline because of the strength of the tide. The tide is just like a river going down.
Right.
It's very, very powerful. So fishermen is very risky. Nowadays, these guys, they need to upgrade some of the boat. This boat, they're going outside there, it's too small, they're going far, and they know how the sea can change in a jiffy.
Right.
It can change. And you have a lot of risk because you have a lot of pirates out there. Sometimes you're fishing in the night, you cannot fish with light. Because there's guys over there coming, they attack you and hit you and take your engine. I had such a bad experience, me and a guy. And for days I afraid. If I see a boat, I afraid because of pirates. So sometimes you see fishermen missing. It's not just the loss at sea. It's pirates doing them things.
Okay.
But the fishermen face, look, just behind Point Saline, there's a reef called Fisherman Burial Ground. If you go there, and the minute time you see, you have to move out of there. Lots of boats lost there. And a lot of serious things has happened even with divers there.
Okay.
And then one thing I want to judge you. Look at that big boat at Point Saline there. I wonder how come that boat reach inside there. They're saying it's on a reef, but the boat come right inside Black Bay. Anybody know? People on this area know Black Bay. That boat is inside of Black Bay. How that boat reach inside there? When I have my own assessment of it. They say they fall asleep, but when they fall asleep or when they wake up and they realize they're right in the bay, instead of making the left turn, they make a right turn. But the right turn is the better turn to make. But they was too close into the bay that they end up right under the rock by below Black Bay. It's a serious thing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning. Not GT. No, in a sense, how are you doing?
I'm alive and thankful. How about you?
I'm doing great. You know, I think, and you touched my point that I was going to make, which is technology. And not only technology in terms of what you carry on the boat, but on yourself. Fishermen go out without any suits. They go out with any proper gear. There are things that they can attach to their suit. If they have on a suit, they can attach to it so that people will know exactly where they are, rather than just the boat where the boat is, you know? And as the guy just previously stated about the GPS, fishing is no longer something that you do by guess. You have fish finders where you can know where the fishes are, so you can actually go and fish where the fishes are. And all these other equipment, invest in technology, it would make it better. And I think that if probably they form cooperatives, where they can actually learn and somebody can actually help them with business ideas as to know exactly what they can do to better themselves, not only themselves, but their family will be better, where they'll have a pension for their family, just in the event that life is lost, and everything could be much better if fishermen just get themselves into cooperatives and establish a business so that they can actually secure a future for themselves and their family.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, caller. And with that, we pull the plug on the program this morning. I want to say thank you to all those of you who participated one way or the other. If the good Lord spare our lives, we'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place, same frequencies and channels. I love you. Bye-bye. The BBC is up next.